All right, hi friends. What a day it has been, huh? Here we are at kind of wrapping up a Thursday, heading into the evening. I want to take care of you not only with what's going on with the rest of the storm, which is pretty much done for a lot of southern New England, but also look ahead to what's coming up for the weekend. It's a big weekend now for skiing. It's also going to be a weekend too for getting ready for the Eclipse. Some of you traveling across New England. You don't need to go any farther than New England. We talked about that in the special Eclipse post yesterday. But if you missed that, make sure you check out onedegreeoutside.com and you'll see the link to that there. Of course, it's on our YouTube channel at 1 Degree Outside as well. Okay, here's what's going on right now. 3-hour loop of the radar and satellite shows that the storm center, a big swirling storm now, is coming outside of Boston Harbor, and it's still throwing the moisture back over Maine. There are areas of snow. Heard from some of you across northern New England that we're in and out of the snow. As a matter of fact, in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, from St. Johnsbury running over to Littleton, you got a big break, but remember, that was expected. That was the wind, what we call downsloping. It was coming across the mountains out of the east and then sloping down. Going downhill is the opposite of what you need to make big clouds and big precipitation. So now that the wind is starting to shift, and I can show you that a little bit better, here is the storm center. Notice your wind at the surface is starting to come out of the north. Eventually, it's going to do the same thing in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, too. That'll actually allow some of the snow to fill in some of these areas that were downslope. Now you get upslope. It comes up the mountains instead, so you get a couple fresh inches in some parts of the Northeast Kingdom into the far upper valley. For a lot of the rest of us, as the storm continues to move off to the east, the wind starts to stand down in Maine. Very varied conditions. This is Medfield, Massachusetts. Live camera here. You can see everything's just wet. You go to Andover, and certainly there's been at least some snow that's gone down to the ground. The blacktop's still visible. That is one of the big things about April snow, right, is that even when you come up into Maine, this is 295 in Portland out by Franklin Street, and you can see there's definitely winter driving conditions here, right? It's not easy going. There's no question about that. But at the same time, you can see some of the blacktop. Boy, the ocean is angry at Cape Elizabeth. We had waves that were built over 30 feet at the buoys just offshore. This was a storm that really got the ocean roiled up. But as I mentioned in the earlier video, thankfully we fell shy of what some of the projections were on coastal flooding, particularly south coast of Connecticut, which looked like it may get hit really bad. So that was some good news there. I really like this site from the National Weather Service for an overview on snow amounts, not only because it's color-coded, you can see the legend that shows up here, but also because on the right it lists the top amounts, which might be just off your screen, but 4 miles northeast of Shapley, Maine, 21.5 inches. Rochester, Vermont, 21.5 inches. Stowe, Vermont, 20 inches. And keep in mind, we just looked at the radar, it's still coming down, right? There were some spots. Look at this. Ashburnham, Mass, 7.4. Rindge, New Hampshire, 6.3, 6.8. So you got some pretty good snow in them there hills across central Massachusetts. Also, by the way, if you ever want to check on the latest reports, right at onedegreeoutside.com. This is one of the things I mentioned to you yesterday, that we have a radar plugin that sometimes when you do the radar loop, it's a little bit weird, like it cuts in and out with data, but I love it for so many reasons. And the reason we picked it, one of the things you could do right here, this is your storm reports. You turn it on. Look at this. It's all the recent storm reports that come on. You can get close to your town. Let's say I live in Franklin, New Hampshire, or let's say I know someone who lives there. How much snow do they get? Just click on it. There it is, 8 inches of snow that came down, right? You can do that for any one of these reports. Same thing will happen during severe weather and all that. Plus, it's got some of the strong wind gusts, too. Here's one across a coast of Maine. So here we go, Washington County. Several trees down and power line hanging very low. Earlier, a lot of them have been wiped out now, but we had wind reports up and down the Maine coast that were showing up on this. So just something to keep in mind from the homepage, onedegreeoutside.com. Okay, let's go into the weekend and what's happening. First of all, I've got a very special surprise for skiers. Really special surprise. Should I just cut to it? All right, I'll just get right to the surprise for skiers right out of the gate. Look what I made for you. We've been hard at work here to get you every or almost every ski area in New England. Seriously, take a look. This is the forecast, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to show you the weather conditions here in just a second. But nonetheless, we're talking about temperatures are going to be near 40 degrees. Yes, I got Neshoba on there. I got Ski Bradford on there. I got McIntyre on there. But wait, of course, there's more. Let's go up north into central New England. Here we go with Killington, with Okemo, with Magic Mountain. Magic picked up 18 inches and counting. They're going to go higher by the time they're done. Awesome. They posted some great video on their social. Nonetheless, you can see Tenney, 38, 44, 47. Those are your high temperatures Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, some of these look okay. All right, make sure you check the website before you go, because I know for a fact, as I put these on here, that some of them have already closed for the season because they didn't have enough snow. How ironic, right? Boy, good things come to those who wait. But nonetheless, we're taking care of you here. By the way, if you don't see all your favorites across some of central New Hampshire, there's a lot of them packed in tight, close together. So it's a little bit hard to get everybody in there. Here we go. This is across the north. You got Wildcat, you got Breton, you got Cannon, you got Burke, you got Jay. Jay's going to be 31 degrees for high on Friday. I mentioned earlier, though, that the conditions really do improve in terms of the wind coming down on Friday. I think a lot of spots are going to be just fine. I know we had summit lift holds today. Not too worried about that. Heading into the weekend, things are looking really good. And yes, I didn't forget about you in far northern Maine. Who goes skiing at Big Moose? Let me hear from you if you go skiing at Big Moose. Make sure. How about Quaggy Joe? Didn't even know it existed. And after 22 years on New England television, I didn't never heard of Quaggy Joe, but now I got it on my map for you. See, we're going to go places we never have been before. We're excited about this. All right. In terms of the weather conditions for you heading into the weekend, this is your map for tomorrow. You still have some snow showers up and down the coast of Maine. You don't have a lot of sun. You got a lot of clouds in white. The blue is where you get these little kind of rain and snow showers that pop up. Most of that's in northern New England. High temperatures tomorrow. You can find where you're going to be. Hopefully this shows up for you in the map. If not, I'll help you out a little bit. 35 to 40 in northern New England, 40 to 45 in southern New England. Let's take you now into Saturday. Saturday, actually, just so you know, it's going to start out dry in Boston. But what's this? Yeah, there'll be a couple of showers that pop up, mostly just rain showers, but they're cool rain showers are on the backside of the storm. This storm is going to be really slow to totally leave over the waters east of New England, south of Nova Scotia. So it does keep throwing some showers back on Saturday. Look how cool it is, too. Saturday's highs, 40, 47 degrees across southern New England from, let's say, Mass New Hampshire border down to southern Connecticut. And then in the 30s, the farther north that you go. You get into Sunday, nice day, better day, better day. Look at the white, the clouds starting to break up, right? Dry air coming in from the north. There goes the last of the back edge of the storm. That's good. Do we warm up? Not a lot on Sunday. You're running mid to upper 40s across southern New England, low to mid 40s in the north. And that brings us to Eclipse Day. And oh boy, again, I told you there's that special eclipse video we've got on our site. But nonetheless, look at this. Eclipse Day still looks to have some high altitude clouds, of which you'd probably still see the sun through just fine in upstate New York. But boy, you come into New England, it just looks amazing. It looks amazing. It really does. Oh, and by the way, high temperatures on Monday on Eclipse Day. All right, you're seeing some 60s showing up in southern New England, but wait, again, there's more. I want to show you the artificial intelligence corrected forecast, which I actually think is correcting it in the right way. That doesn't always happen with AI. That's a whole other story for another time. But notice temperatures going up into the 60s for many of us. Makes sense. The temperature's about 2,000 feet off the deck or warm enough to support 60s on Monday. So let's have an eclipse, a sunny sky, and temperatures in the 60s with the obvious notable exception of what's going on there at the coastline, which we'll see. If we get a sea breeze, which I think the AI is assuming there will be, and it's a decent assumption to make, but there might be just enough northwest wind that we warm it up all the way to the coast. So I wouldn't bet on that one yet. Either way, you got a great forecast. So I think we covered it all, right? Listen, if you like this stuff and you're watching on the YouTube video, which I'm sure you are, make sure if you're on YouTube, you like and subscribe. We'd love to be able to see you more often. And also, if you sign up for notifications, you get dinged every time we send something out. And other than that, follow us on social. We'll see you online. I hope you have, if you're not checking in again for the weekend, have a great weekend. Otherwise, we'll see you in another update. Take care.